On January 16th, 2024, at 5:30 in the morning, my friend David and I began climbing epinephrine, a 2,000-foot sandstone climb in Red Rocks, just outside of Las Vegas.
Crushed it.
David carried all 20 pounds of our packs the entire climb, even hanging them beneath him as he made his way up the difficult chimney section. After 8 hours, we reached the landmark pine tree that marks the top, and David said something that I told my friends about just a few hours later.
Him too. Really? He was like, I'm thinking of soloing this, and I think I just felt so secure in that chimney, like I was not gonna fall out, even when I had like a extra 20 pounds on me.
David plans to climb epinephrine, the rock climb that we just did together, without any ropes or protection. This is how I made a climbing film about David and his free solo. I'm Tyler, a computer science student and a rock climber.
Yeah.
It worked!
Who's graduating from Princeton in only a couple months. Last semester, my friend Simone got me really excited about the world of film, and she recorded a bunch of our climbing trips and adventures. I was inspired, and I decided to take a documentary film class. This is the first documentary film that I've ever made. In fact, this is probably going to be the only documentary film that I'll ever make.
Regardless, it's my dream to make a super cool climbing film, and so, now with a deadline for a final film, I called David up.
I just wanted to gauge, your interest in being recorded.
No, yeah, I don't care.
Like, do you think you'd be prepared to do epinephrine by March? Like, is that something you think is on your radar?
Oh, yeah, totally.
David agreed to let us film him free solo epinephrine. Epinephrine is a world-class climb, 2,000 feet of beautiful sandstone climbing, with the main event and most difficult section being 500 feet of friction-based chimney climbing.
It's perfect, it's smooth, right? It's long, it's very sustained, and you pop out at the end like a little baby.
With 3 weeks to prepare, we began planning with many back and forths from the equipment room and discussions with David to make sure all parties were on board.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in terms of like systems. It'd be a lot of work.
Plan A. We placed Simone on the mountain across the valley, 1,000 feet away, for a stable long shot. However, this means I wouldn't be able to climb up the route because you can't go upward as one person. Plan B. So I would either need to wait at the top of the climb to record his summit, and then she would try to rappel the route long shot. However, there are no bolted anchors, and the route we would have to means we can revert very quickly. Ultimately, by camping 500 feet up the day before, Simone and I would be able to capture the hardest section of the climb. In addition to this, David even wanted me to hire a drone to follow him.
Drone is cool. Drone is cool.
Alright, cool. That's good to hear.
And so I found a drone flyer.
Is this just like a random guy? Do you trust him?
He's not like some rando that flies a drone. He has a company.
Okay, yeah. Just a couple of quick reactions to that. One is climbers generally don't like drones. I'm not particularly against them, but I know a lot of climbers who don't feel comfortable with them, worried about them cutting their rope or hitting them while they're climbing. I don't want to bother people. I don't want to. So definitely I'd want to be like out early and up high out of there, which I would be.
With our concrete plan, Simone and I left for Nevada. We finally connected with David.
It's not.
David graduated from Princeton in 2023 and has been living out of his Toyota Corolla for the past 9 months.
Most dirtbags I know, they have a minivan or like a RAV4 and they lay in the back of that. David rolls up in his Corolla. I'm like, so where do you sleep? He's like, I sleep in the passenger seat. And he also rolled up. He rolled up, puts the stove on top of his car, takes out this like steak that he bought at Albertsons. It was not in a cooler. It was laying in the passenger seat that he also sleeps in. And he starts cooking the steak. And he looks at me and he's like, I'm on keto now. And I was like, dude, what? Who are you? Dude, who the fuck?
Simone and I were excited to start filming as much as possible. But our excitement was short-lived.
I've never seen Red Rocks like this. Red Rocks is usually just crystal blue skies.
Unfortunately, it rained the day we arrived in Vegas.
It's been raining really hard. Like,
Climbers are required to wait 1 to 3 days after it rains before climbing.
I want like a margin. I want a big margin. And it's probably gonna rain again before I get that margin. It's just been the story.
David wants 7 days of dryness before doing the solo.
It's in a state right now that's not what I want. I want Bomber Rock. That's what I'm itching for. Doing it on Bomber Rock.
Bomber rock is rock that is very solid and secure. David is itching for high quality rock.
I think a week seems reasonable to me.
And so, with 8 days before Simone and I returned to campus, we waited for the sun to dry the rock, turning it bomber for David's solo. While waiting, we learned that David was a bit of a tricky subject to capture.
There's someone climbing. You should record them. Someone climbing. I'm not interested. I'm literally lying down. Am I really that interesting? I was recording me sitting with a shirt over my head. Like I'm the most interesting. I'm not.
Yeah, okay, fine. I'll record some more. You got me, bro.
We waited the best way we knew how.
Oh no! Oh. That wind almost blew me off.
We even learned about David's connection to music.
Things have a purpose. There's a purpose to things. It's not meaningless. I get that from music. I get that from Bach. That's my cocaine. I think it goes to a depth that I think no other music does. To the depth of the human condition, the depth of tragedy or suffering, like feeling the meaning of life. That's what I feel when I listen to music.
Simone and I got to know David quite intimately on the trip, but the longer we waited, the more worried we got about the weather. Even while the sun was shining, the forecast was predicting rain on our shooting day, exactly 7 days after it had rained previously. David decided not to free solo epinephrine during our trip. After putting so much effort into it, we left with the sinking feeling that we still didn't have a film. We returned to school without any soloing footage. Yet Simone and I were set on this idea and planned to fly back the moment David gave us the green light. However, days after making it back to campus, I got a call from David.
There's like so much climbing I've done, and the soloing aspect is like a very tiny component. I don't think I'm going to solo epinephrine this season at all.
My original idea for this film was officially not gonna happen. All the planning I had done, down the drain. But without this film, I wouldn't have got to climb in Red Rocks again.
You just lay there, starfish.
And I wouldn't have met Travis.
I was like, oh yeah, this is the stuff.
And I wouldn't have gotten closer with David.
I just still goes, yeah, my send. Yeah, I had a great time with you, Tyler. It was everything I wanted. You were fast, you were strong, kept going. You didn't give up even though the going got hard.
I wouldn't have gotten to interview another David.
My name's Dave Mora. I was a 09 graduate at Princeton.
Even if I didn't include him in the film at all. Maybe it's not all about capturing that dramatic free solo. As David said, it's such a small part of his climbing identity. Got me thinking about the connections we formed and the stories we created. I guess it's about the friends we made along the way, or whatever. I learned at least one thing from this adventure.